Saturday, July 18th, 6:32 in the evening. This is Razor Wire. We're your hosts, McShane and Fitz. Fitz, you know what we get to say tonight?
I hope we get to say a lot. That's what I hope. But specifically, what do we get to say?
We're going to say a lot tonight. But yes, thank you, Lisa. We are going to say, I told you so. We told you so. We've been telling you so for what? 3 years? 4 years?
I'm going to say 4+. Yeah.
Since the time that we started this show, one of the things, and everybody out there, we look at trends, we look at the narratives, we look at everything that's happening, we try to do the math. We try to connect the dots, and we do a damn good job of it. And over the years, we've been very, very, very consistent in looking at the influence that China has on America. And finally, we got a little bit of a coming out party. And I think we felt it was coming on over the last few weeks, but we are definitely here, and we're on a precipice of I think it's gonna get gnarly. I really do. I think it's gonna get a little. There's gonna be a little nasty.
Yeah, we're past the point now. At this point, we're way past just mudslinging and saying, "Oh, he's a liar," or "You're just a sore loser," or whatever. We're past all that. That's playground shit, right? That's out in the field on third grade. We've now graduated. We're in college and we're in law school, and we're talking about the law being violated and possibly treason, sedition. Some really big words are on the table right now, because it's not just China's influence on the U.S. that's the problem. Because boiling it down, good on China. They should be fucking with our shit because we're an enemy. We're a competitor. We fuck with their shit too, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
The big problem comes in is when we find out that our own people were complicit. Our own people were allowing it to happen. Our own people were encouraging it to happen because, again, orange man bad. We'll get into it, but there's a lot to talk about here that is probably below the headlines, and that's what we do.
That's what we do. Yeah, below the headlines is exactly how we do it. Got a lot to get into tonight. We are going to talk about Trump's speech. We're probably not going to get into the actual speech because I don't think that it was a revelation for us anyway, especially if you listen to the show week to week. But it was good having it come out into the open. I think the fallout from it and the heads that have been are rolling, especially the media, which I have to tell you that your choice in Zoom names, CBS, NBC, ABC, the big three, was absolutely on point.
Yeah.
And how they've treated this situation. We're going to get into that. We're going to get we had some big words from Elisa Slotkin as far as what the Save America Act is going to happen. We've got to get into that. Just a ton of stuff to get into. We've got some science. We've got this wacky Tony Robbins AI rant that he went on about how he used this. And
bizarre story. Very strange.
And I think when we get into it, one of the things I want to see if it's based or bullshit. Okay. Do you think it was real or not? So we're definitely going to get into it. We'll definitely get into that later on. Explosive diarrhea. They've tried to make this a narrative.
Unsuccessfully. So again, we're up to basically every week now. Ebola is coming, hantavirus, explosive diarrhea. You know what's sad, dude, is I have... Now, granted, the people that I work with and the profession that they are in, that they've chosen as their chosen field, they like drama. Okay, I'll admit that 100%. They didn't get into this particular line of work to be anti-drama.
Not at all.
They're not, chemical engineers. So that being said, I have people at work actually afraid to eat their store-bought salads. They're afraid to eat their own salads they're making, and they've changed their diet this week because they're afraid of this explosive diarrhea. It was like, I think nationwide it's less than 10,000 people, and I don't look, we're going back to COVID times. Like, I start doing the math. I'm like, okay, that's not even like a third of 1% of the entire population that's gotten this explosive diarrhea. And on top of that, no one's died from it or anything. Maybe, I'll take my chances Maybe I could use a good cleansing. Just exercise the demons. I don't know why people get so afraid of this shit. And I do know why, because the news is telling them to be afraid of it. And it's sad to see. It's really sad.
But I like that it's not playing. It's not playing.
I agree. I love it also that most of us are like, shut the fuck up. Who cares? Who cares?
I do feel bad for Taco Bell, though. Taco Bell is definitely taking it on the chin.
They got thrown under the bus. Yeah. And it looks like it might have started there. So, not a good look for Taco Bell. I saw a tweet. Do we still call them tweets? Posts? I saw a post yesterday, and someone was like, how do you tell the difference? Or no, he said, how do I tell the difference between regular Taco Bell diarrhea and explosive lettuce diarrhea from Taco Bell? I don't know. The answer to that, I don't know, because Taco Bell has always given us all diarrhea. That's the point. It's not good food.
No, it's Taco Bell.
Yeah.
You get what you get. It's going to taste good. You're going to take one of those fire packets. You're going to put it on the taco. You're going to eat that taco. And you know what? And you're going to feel, you know what? That was like home. It was like home.
Yeah.
Food.
Yeah. And it's comfort food.
It is comfort food. That's exactly what it is. And then you accept that in about 3 hours, you're going to lose your ass. It's all good. It's going to come out. Everything's going to come out. You're probably going to lose some weight after it. You might go down a couple pounds. That's not a bad thing necessarily.
That's what I'm saying.
Just hydrate.
If you're a wrestler, you're just cutting weight.
That's what we did in high school.
Jesus. Why is this a bad thing? But people were afraid. And for that, again, going back to the big three, and let's throw in CNN. Let's throw in all the media outlets out there that only have an online presence, who freaked out about this thing because we had 500 cases in Washington, D.C. somewhere, or in Ohio. And of course, in Ohio. It's Ohio.
What beer are you starting off with?
Well, this is from Vanguard Brewing. Vanguard Brewing. Pretty solid brewery. I believe they're up here in the Pacific Northwest. I'll check the can here when I unsheath it. But I have had Vanguard beers before. They're a pretty solid brewery from everything I can remember. It's been a while. Anyway, I can't actually wait to taste this one because I had a guess. Again, an educated guess, because they are a Pacific Northwest brewery. So I figured, okay, it's an IPA, right? Safe bet. But I poured it out, and it's got a pinkish hue to it. Ooh. It smells of a wheat. And it also smells of some kind of fruit. And I'm going to say raspberry, but I might be off on that. It could also be a raspberry wheat. Yeah, but it also could be like a strawberry wheat or something. Sometimes those subtle fruit flavors can get mixy. But it poured pink. It poured beautifully. It's a beautiful beer. So I am actually really anxious to taste this thing. By the way, little known fact, but it shall be well known after I say this. This first sip of my unknown beer is going out to Susan. It's her birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday, Susan!
Happy birthday,
Cheers!
Susan.
We like to celebrate things that deserve to be celebrated, and Susan's one of those things. So let's take a and you just circled that on the website. I think you're right. Yep. I think it might be Berry White, the raspberry wheat. Let's see.
I'm curious.
Oh shit, that's good. Okay, I think we nailed it, dude. We've been on a tear here, and by the way, it's not just me. McShane, you help me when you find the website and you point out some beers. It's easier to be like, yeah, I think it's that one. But we've been on a tear here. Let's do the unsheeting. Yep, we nailed it. Berry White, raspberry wheat. It's a 5%er. Yeah, really nice summer beer. This is kind of a quintessential fucking summer beer. Clean, session drinker. It's not too high ABV. You could mow the lawn and come in and not feel like shit about drinking this thing. Really subtle on the fruit flavors. It smells more like raspberry than it tastes like it, but it's a great wheat beer. Really well done. Nice job.
Nice. VanguardBrewing.com.
Yeah,
is the website for that one. So that's good. Good for you. All right. So I found a beer from Hell of a Brewing. To my knowledge, this is the first beer that I've seen in the wild from them that's actually canned. They are out of Chandler, Arizona here. It's a bronze medal winner.
I've never heard of them.
Valley. No, I'll see if I can get some of their beers canned or crowlered. They don't can typically, but I'm excited that if they're going to start doing this, this is good. They do some really solid dark stuff too, like angry dark stuff. Good barrel aged. Their stouts are really solid. IPAs are good. I really like their stouts. This one is actually called Peachalicious. This is a sour. It's a fruited Berliner Weiss. It's 4.6%, so I'm starting off pretty light. Very peachy as far as the nose goes, and they're saying it's going to be a fruity peach front end and a tart sour finish. So it's a cloudy sour. Yellow. Oh, and it smells. If you've ever had the like peach nectar in a can, the juice.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this smells like. It's exactly what it smells like.
It's either that or a can of the pineapple juice. That's like my after workout drink, just to replace all those carbs real quick. I like the peach or the pineapple. It's just orange is boring. Go with something fun.
Yeah, it smells fantastic. Oh. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
Good carbonation on the front end, a lot of peach on the front end. It's probably I'm going to say it's a perfect description. They really nailed it. Very simple.
Nice.
I don't blame them for making it the best in the valley at all. Our bronze medal winner. A little salty for a Berliner Weiss, but a fantastic summer beer.
Almost
Absolutely
like a
fantastic.
Goza.
Very close.
Because Gozas can get kind of salty. Yeah.
Yep. Typically they are salty. This is not at all. This is very drinkable. And also it's a clean finish too. It doesn't linger around. It hits you with the sour at the end and it's done. We're done. We're good. That's it.
You know, if there's one thing I know about you, McShane, it's you like a clean finish. You know?
I do. Finish and be done.
Finishing clean. Yeah. That's important to you. And you always come prepared. You got towels, you got, a water bottle if you need it, some hand sanitizer, whatever. But a clean finish is important to you. And so this beer sounds like, just listening to you describe this beer in this brewery, sounds like I need to come down there. We need to do a brewery tour of the valley, just the three of us. I need to get down there because there's a lot of new stuff down there since I left that I have not experienced, and I feel left out. I've got FOMO, McShane.
You need to come out. There's a lot of breweries that are just really fantastic. A lot of stuff that's downtown, the Roosevelt District. So anybody out there in Arizona, you guys know. Yeah, absolutely. Come on down. Let's. And also, I have new tap rooms around me too, which have popped up, which are fantastic.
Yeah. See, okay. So Hefe will be hearing this on Monday morning. Hefe, if you can get that bedroom locked down, get it warmed up for me real good. And if I have a place to stay down there, flights, I can get down there for less than $200. So it's kind of a no-brainer. I just need to come down. I'm just throwing this out there. I might wait until fall hits. I might wait till summer's done. But I just think that'd be a fun, little like maybe Thursday to a Sunday kind of trip and see what you guys can take off of work. And we just need to spend more time together.
Yep. No, I agree. Give us give us till like in middle of September. Let's see where things are at. We're actually It's been really nice today. It was in the mid 70s. It's muggy because of all the rain we've been getting, but it's been fantastic. And we
hello El Nino.
It's been outstanding. The summer's been short so far, so hopefully it stays that way. We got about an inch and a half. Not like the rest of the country. A lot of places across the rest of the country are just absolutely getting. Shout out to you guys. Try and stay dry. Stay out of flash floods. There's a lot of bad stuff going on.
A lot of dumb people.
But you know what? Hey, a lot of droughts. Droughts going away in a lot of places.
Exactly.
And, that's what's important.
That is what's important. That's what kills me when people are like, "Oh, this is the worst drought in Utah's history. Lake Powell's the lowest it's been in 90 years." Yeah, do you know what happened 90 years ago was a huge El Nino that filled all the basins up. This is the cycle. People are so short-sighted. They think If it hasn't happened in my lifetime, then it's abnormal and we have to freak out. No, we are on 10,000-year cycles with weather and climate. And within that 10,000-year cycle is smaller cycles and even smaller cycles. And the reservoirs will fill back up. El Nino is going to do its job. I'm looking forward to snow and ice up here this winter because usually an El Nino means a really wet, cold winter for us here in the Pacific Northwest. So good stuff comes from these things. Everyone wants to talk about El Nino being a threat and that the last time we had one this strong, a third of the world's population died of starvation. That was in the fucking 1800s, early 1900s when we didn't have agriculture or fucking electricity in half the world. Like, what are you talking about? Everybody calm down. It's going to be okay. I promise. Until the polls flip and then nothing's okay. And then all bets are off. But until then, we're going to be fine.
But that actually is something to worry about.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to talk about that one. Nobody wants to. It's history. I was watching. Yeah. I was looking at posts online. Chris Martz, the weather guy, super smart. I enjoy his follows. But anyway, he took exception to some guy who was looking at data just off of a 50-year poll. So he was going back to like 20. I think it was like 1980 or something. And he's like, "Yeah, okay, that's great, buddy, but that's like in the last 50 years. If you look at the last 100 years, it's completely fucking different."
Yep.
And it just
back before we had SUVs. I know, exactly. Yeah. Chris is great. He's up and coming. He's a newly crowned meteorologist, and I love. He went through meteorology school, got his degree, and he looks back on it. He goes, "I learned a lot. Obviously, I'm a trained scientist, but I also learned a lot of stuff that was really false." And the data actually shows this, and he always brings receipts. It's never just, "Hey, I want you to believe me because the IPCC report of a bunch of corrupt scientists says this." No, he's like, "Look, here's the actual data. Look at weather, like you said. Look at, heat waves. Look at hurricanes." And he has the data, and all of those things have been going down. Forest fires, they've all been going down in the last 100 years. So, yeah, he's a great follow. If you're not following him, you can definitely find him out there. He's fun.
You know what else is important? And I'm glad we're starting off talking about history because history really, really is. It's neat.
Ooh.
When we're looking at history over time, and now that we've got the great grand internet and everything is forever.
History will get you. It'll get
you. And let's just go ahead and we're going to start with this, and then we'll work back to what happened this week.
Touchscreen computer voting because it's so vulnerable.
Right.
We need to look at all the voting machines. Every Secretary of State needs to be assisted in making sure that they are not being hacked and attacked.
I continue to think that our voting machines are too vulnerable.
Researchers have repeatedly demonstrated that ballot recording machines and other voting systems are susceptible to tampering.
Even hackers with limited prior knowledge, tools, and resources are able to breach voting machines in a matter of minutes.
In 2018, electronic voting machines in Georgia and Texas deleted votes for certain candidates or switched votes from one candidate to another.
The biggest seller of voting machines is doing something that violates Cybersecurity 101, directing that you install remote access software, which would make a machine like that, a magnet for fraudsters and hackers.
These voting machines can be hacked quite easily.
You could easily hack into them. It makes it seem like all these states are doing different things, but in fact, 3 companies are controlling this.
It is the individual voting machines that pose some of the greatest risk.
There are a lot of states that are dealing with antiquated machines, which are vulnerable to being hacked.
The workers were able to easily hack into an electronic voting machine. It was possible to switch votes.
43% of American voters use voting machines that researchers have found have serious security flaws, including backdoors.
We know how vulnerable now our systems were. I know the hackathon that took place last year, where virtually every machine was broken into fairly quickly.
I actually held a demonstration for my colleagues here at the Capitol, where we brought in folks who, before our eyes, hacked election machines, those that are being used in many states.
Ron Whedon, Kamala Harris, Adam Schiff, Hillary Clinton, Amy Klobuchar, those are just examples of Democrats who have, over the years, have come out against how vulnerable our voting machines are. And remember what one of the things we always say, it's okay when Democrats say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake there. It's okay when the socialists say that something is happening, but if a Republican or a conservative calls something out, it's not. That's a clip from Kanekoa the Great. I highly suggest following.
Yeah, great follow.
Great stuff out there. But that's what happened this week. Now, Trump came out and he laid out an argument that was very, very, very similar to what these individuals have been saying, except we also have NSA documentation. We have FBI data and documents that were released that were just recently declassified. We even have an FBI agent saying they're running a deep state. They're basically running a deep state operation.
Yep. I can do it from here. Yep. Yeah, and that, by the way, McShane, for those of you, again, follow Kanekoa the great follow, but that clip goes for 21 minutes
20
straight.
minutes, yes.
Of Democrats saying how vulnerable. Can I tell a quick story here? And this is going to not segue us, but it'll be something that we can talk about later in the show, okay? Real quick story. Back in 2003, it might have been 2003 or 2004. There was a vote in Denmark, and they have a simple majority when they have elections. Simple majority. So if there's 100 people voting and 51 of them vote for one candidate, that's the candidate who wins. They had this vote. It was all done by machines. They had to show up in person, vote by machine, and it came out way skewed. And in fact, people were like, there's no possible way that person could have won. Me and all my neighbors, we didn't vote for that person. I don't know anyone who voted for that person. So they launched an investigation, and they actually found that we're bombarded by energy from the universe all the time. In fact, the sun keeps a lot of that away from us, but the sun launches its own energy at us, and so we have threats all the time. But they went back and looked at the computer records, and they found that, in fact, I think it was 350 or so votes out of 17,000. It was a small local election, but 300 of these votes they voted one way, but in the machine it got switched, and they traced it back. They traced it back to a 0 became a 1 because it got bombarded with actual energy from the galaxy, from space. We had a huge neutrino blast at the exact time that these 300 people were voting, and it changed their vote from one way to another. Okay, so this is a freak accident. They went back, they did a full investigation. Kudos to Denmark for doing the investigation and making this happen and finding this out. But that was a freak accident, and it still changed an election. You're telling me that somebody with an actual computer that is hell-bent on hacking this thing and finding out its ins and outs, or maybe they're one of the fucking programmers that gets paid enough to flip, they can make that machine say whatever the fuck they want. It is a real thing. We've known it's a real thing. I've been saying this for a long time, that as voters, we feel disenfranchised because I press a button. How do I know that's what's actually going through to the main system? What guarantees do I have?
Or when I go ahead and I pencil in my ballot, right? When I go ahead and mark on my ballot, you don't know what's going to be going in there.
Who's counting that? Yeah.
You don't know. You have no idea.
Yeah.
We have third world countries that not only they complete their ballot tallies in a night, but they use paper ballots, but we can't do that. Oh, and just to prove our point a little bit more, here's Barack.
Cozying up to Russia? What happened to the Republican Party? Its central organizing principle in foreign policy was the fight against communism, and now they're cozying up to the former head of the KGB. Actively blocking legislation that would defend our elections from Russian attack. What happened? In the end, the threat to our democracy doesn't just come from Donald Trump or the current batch of Republicans in Congress or the Koch brothers and their lobbyists or too much compromise from Democrats or Russian hacking. The biggest threat to our democracy is indifference.
And that's the greatest leader of the free world, if you're a Democrat, Barack Obama, saying the same thing that Trump came out and said this week. Just amazing that we're hearing this now.
Yeah, but the difference is they actually aired Barack's speech.
Yeah.
I just realized something. I think I have ODS. I think I have Obama derangement syndrome. I can't stand to look at that man anymore. Knowing all that he did while being on air and being so clean and so well spoken and such a fucking good liar, and now knowing everything that he did and all the evil, seditious crap that he was putting in place that partially got us to where we are now, I can't stand to look at that man anymore. I get enraged. I want to beat the shit out of him. First of all, I want to play him in basketball. I want to beat him. And then when I beat him, then I might kick him in the nuts and I want to and just be done with it. I can't stand him. Anyway.
Let's pivot over to Catherine Herridge, who has been very, very outspoken about how tainted and corrupt our elections have been.
So first, just your reaction to the president's announcement tonight.
Well, I think it's a very significant announcement, not only what he said, but the fact that they are releasing these documents so that we can really fact check the claims we heard this evening. I've been digging into the documents already, and I found this November 2020 email, and it specifically states, it's a conversation among intelligence officials. It specifically states that they have, quote, deliberately massaged one of our pending PDBs, that's the president's daily brief, to avoid any direct links to the election, and that is consistent with my reporting. I understand the whistleblower complaint alleged, and I think we're now seeing it in the emails, that there was an intentional effort to suppress intelligence about China's influence operations. And this was, Katie, like a massive effort, what they call a multi-domain operation. That means trade, it means diplomacy, it means open source information, it means social media. So all the levers of power China had to influence the U.S. elections.
In your reporting, you've said that a senior intelligence official emphasized to you that in 2020, China was not held to the same standard as Russia and other adversaries, including North Korea, Iran, and proxies like Hezbollah, and that the Chinese influence operations were consistently downplayed while Russia's were routinely amplified. You also talked about this whistleblower who was reportedly retaliated against for trying to bring this information to light.
So in the summer of 2020, as we're heading into the election, in the intelligence community, there were indicators of this Chinese influence operation. Influence operations means that you're trying to affect the outcome of how people vote or their sentiment about a presidential candidate. It's different than an interference operation, which is penetrating voting rolls and voter systems. And this whistleblower was raising the alarm about the influence operation, and then suddenly it all was suppressed. My understanding is that some of their reports, there were in officials' own handwriting that they wanted everything out that could help President Trump in his reelection. So there was clear evidence of political and personal bias, and intelligence is supposed to be neutral. So what we heard tonight from the president is an allegation that this intelligence was suppressed in order to harm him, and now we're seeing documents already which back up those claims.
What we just heard was that the CIA was doing everything possible to make sure that Donald Trump was not elected. They were hiding evidence. They were hiding evidence of election interference from China. They were making sure that Democrats were going to get elected. So this is somebody who worked at the CIA during the Trump administration. And he basically confirms everything that they're saying, that everybody at the CIA hated Trump. They didn't recognize him as a president. Just take a listen. It's exactly what you would expect.
You were working at CIA during the Trump election. What was the view of that within the CIA? What do people think of Trump at CIA?
Well, what I found interesting was every government building usually has the picture of the president, the vice president. In this particular case, I don't know how many months it took them to eventually put the picture of the president, the vice president on the wall, as if they didn't even want to recognize him as the president or the vice president. I mean, it got so bad in one of my offices that one of the leaders actually spoke out and said, look, we have to respect the chain of command. If you find yourself mentally distressed because Trump won the presidency, go seek some psychological help.
So the thing, it's very, very clear very clear that the whole goal is that we are not, it's been against Trump the whole time. It absolutely has. They don't want to admit that they're in bed with China. We don't want to admit that China is undermining our schools. They don't want to admit that China is pushing BLM and woke bullshit and all of this kind of shit, that the stuff that Roy Neville Singham is now being indicted for, or investigated for, excuse me, the founder of Code Pink, everything that Soros has pushed. It's all out in the open now. It's all out in the open. And truly, the Democrats are funded by China. There's no other way to take it. There really isn't. You can track the money. And then when they have actions like this, when you have CBS, NBC, ABC refusing to show the talk that Trump gave, whether you like it or not, it's still news. It's still newsworthy. Yep. It needs to be heard.
It's the president. It's the president. Nixon was accused of being the most corrupt president ever, and they aired his speech when he basically said, "You're not going to have me to push around anymore. Fuck off. Go suck your own dick." They aired that shit. Which, I mean, he was framed, and we all know that was bullshit now. But at the time, the whole country hated him, and they still aired his shit. And yes. And nothing says I'm guilty more than, hey, we don't want you to talk to the other guy that's accusing us of stuff. We're not going to put him on a public forum. We're not going to let him talk to you. Nothing says I'm guilty more than that. Nothing.
No, it can't. There's no other way to take it. If you're going to hide it, well, it has to be fucking true.
Yep.
It's like MSNBC when he gave talks during his election. Let the people go ahead and make up their own mind. There's nothing that can be more damning than this.
That's it. Right there. Right there. That's my point, is if he's truly, if you think that he is a crazy, just out of his mind whack job, just some kind of talking Cheeto, why wouldn't you want to put him on air and let him make an ass of himself? Why wouldn't you want to have him expose himself to the American people in such a way that he'll never be able to recover? By saying we're not going to air it, you're basically saying, no, he's completely legitimate here in what he's about to claim, and we don't want you to see it. That's all that says. And these people, they have one playbook, and they keep running it, and we already know it now. It's literally like the Patriots, Bill Belichick walked across the field and gave the playbook of his team to the opposing team and said, here, read it and look at it. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're doing. We don't know anything else. It's so blatant and just out there in front of you. It was predictable that they wouldn't air it. We knew they weren't going to air it because they can't.
They can't admit it.
No.
Here's John Solomon. He was on CBS with this.
Well, listen, I talked to the intelligence chiefs in the last few days as we got prepared for this. It's very important to understand, the president said this tonight, every intelligence chief vetted this speech. They made sure it was accurate. They told me they had never been briefed on the size of the breaches, the 230 million Americans, the 220 million Americans whose data was stolen, that they consider it a security breach. How many times on your network have you reported that 5 countries are capable of hacking our election machines? When is the last time you reported that Venezuela actually succeeded in breaching a machine which has implications for our future security? You haven't, because it was never made public. It has not been made to Congress. It's not been told to the president in the past. We checked the presidential daily briefs. A president was kept from this information. Now we have a chance to fix a glass chin of election security, make the 26th election more secure. But listen.
You know, let's also, just for framing, okay, just to frame this picture completely, let's not forget that Biden's, let's call it what it is. It was a propaganda speech. Remember when he had the red background, when he was like the fucking emperor, and he had the red background with the Marines back there who weren't actually Marines? They aired that shit, and that was pure propaganda. They aired Dr. Fauci day after day telling us that COVID was going to kill us all and that it was going to be a dark, bleak winter because we weren't getting vaccinated. They aired all that shit. That was propaganda. So now we have proof that these networks are not news networks as they've been sold to the American people. They are propaganda networks.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple. Period. And going back to Obama and the Smith-Mundt Act and all of that, he caused this. He allowed this. Yes. He allowed this to be possible, that the government and the media can lie directly to the American people, and it's not prosecutable. So here we are. And the nice thing is, you've shown all your cards. We're literally playing poker with you, and you are holding your cards the wrong way, the backwards. You can't see your cards. We see your cards. So keep doing it. Go for it, because we see you, and we're not putting up with it anymore. It is a blatant propaganda machine. We see it for what it is. We can't believe a word out of their mouths anymore. Good on you. Go forth.
Now, it's very, very clear that one of the reasons why he did this was because of the SAVE Act. He cannot get the SAVE Act.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
He's having a hell of a time doing it.
Of course.
He's coming out with all the guns he can possibly do. It wouldn't surprise me if, he's going to have an insurrection act coming up now that he's starting to lay the groundwork for what a phony election looks like. He clearly has, like we already said, he's got networks that are already on the side. And I wonder why. Here's Elisa Slotkin, Democrat Senator Elisa Slotkin.
The other thing that we blocked yesterday was the SAVE Act, right? Which was literally allow this administration to rig our democracy so that it would be hard for any Democrat in any state to win any election.
I love that she chooses the word rig. That was her choice of words.
That was her choice of words.
Unbelievable.
So if you keep Americans from having voter ID, which shout out to Olive Garden, who this week announced that you have to get their
never-ending
pasta.
Yeah.
You have to have an ID to get it. It's a rigged election if they require you to get an ID. You have to have an ID for fucking everything, to the point that it's annoying for everyone.
You can't even travel in this country.
You can't travel. You can't get medical. You can't drive. You can't buy alcohol. You can't go to the gym. You can't get a bank account. But no, when it comes to one of the most important things you can possibly do in the country, to vote, to guide the government where it needs to go, you need to water it down by allowing people who don't have an ID, they're not even from here, they don't pay taxes, they've been here for a cup of coffee, they need to be able to vote. I want to play her one more time.
The other thing that we blocked yesterday was the SAVE Act, right? Which was literally allow this administration to rig our democracy so that it would be hard for any Democrat in any state to win any election.
Why is it hard for a Democrat to win an election, I wonder?
Yeah, basically, what she doesn't realize, she just said the quiet part out loud, is that we are unelectable. We are a group of degenerate, misled, completely, our policies are not good enough to stand on. That's basically what she said. It's not a policy decision.
They're not fit to lead.
We're not fit to lead, and no one will vote for us if they actually know what the issues are and they're American citizens. So we need the non-citizens to be able to vote. It will literally make us unelectable. I love that. I want to touch on something that you didn't mean to, but you kind of glossed over it, and I want to make sure that we say this very clearly on the show. If Trump uses this as a pretense to somehow suspend elections, to somehow ensure that he's elected again in some sort of false, they rigged it last time, they fucked us last time, China's involved, Russia's involved, we're locking down elections, and I'm just going to stay in power until we can figure this out. If that happens, I want to make it clear, we're not for that either. That's also wrong. That's not what we're advocating here. We are advocating for free, fair elections where just citizens of this country are voting for who our leaders are going to be, what our policies are going to be. That's all we're advocating for. I don't want a dictator in there that says no more elections either. And I know that's Democrats there are trumping up those fears to make people even more emotional.
But that's what
about
Democrats
this issue.
want. Democrats want this to go there so that when they do get in power, then they can go ahead and make sure that
then they can say, well, and they can do the flip side of it. Well, Trump was about to do it, or he did it, so we can do it too. I mean,
Because
that's the
actual
escalation.
fascists. Yes, they're the actual.
That's the
fascists.
escalation. So no, I don't want Trump suspending elections. I don't want him sort of seizing power that isn't his. He's just the president, but he's also the president.
I just want to see arrests. That's what I want.
Yes. Yeah.
I want arrests. That's it. Put people in jail. Lay out the data. Lay out the evidence. Put them in jail. There you go. Now, are they going to go that far? I don't know. Because
I don't
this
know
is what
either.
I don't like. So you're going to come out and you're going to go and lay all of this groundwork that China is this big, bad, awful machine, which I do totally believe that, yes, they are. I completely believe that they're in bed with the socialists.
And
I
again,
know for a fact that
they
they're
should
pushing-
be.
They absolutely, yes. But why are
They are a competitor.
Why are we not sanctioning the hell out of them? Why are we allowing 600,000 Chinese students to come in on scholarships with all kinds of merit and allowing them to come here and educate? Why are we doing this? Why are we playing ball with them? That's
a great question.
The shit out of me.
And I
know it's politics, and I'm sure it's the economy, and I'm sure, well, we have to make sure that the economic machine keeps running, and they buy our shit. I get that, but there has to be repercussions for them as well. Where
Agreed.
are they? And there hasn't been a damn thing. They're concentrating just on Democrats and socialists. Okay, you're going to go after Royal Neville Singham? Great. Extradite him and put him in jail for the rest of his life. Fantastic. But he's not the only one. He's not the heart of the CCP. He's not the big communist in charge. You just went over to China and you just kissed the ring. That's what it looks like now. I don't like this part either. If you're going to walk the walk, you need to actually throw down now.
Agreed.
You have to have
and I'll tell
tolerance.
you are bringing up, we're getting into, you want to talk about the swamp? Now we're getting into it. This is the nitty gritty because
who's paying who? Yep.
Who's paying who? And let's get down into it. Let's get to the minutia. Maybe if Trump's ultimate goal was to be able to seize control of elections or to seize power and say no more elections because China's too involved, if that's what he wants, then of course you're not going to go after China. You're going to allow them to continue this stuff. You're not going to sanction them. You're not going to send a warning shot across the... I'm just saying that in my mind, to your question, McShane, why are we not going after them? Maybe this is what they want. Maybe this is leading us to a point where...
It's got to make you wonder, right?
It does make you wonder. It really does. And that's what I'm a little fearful of. It's not Chicken Little. I'm not running around being a fucking moron. But I'm saying, let's have everything above board. If you're going to go after Pink Vagina or whatever that organization was, Show Pink or Be Pink or whatever, let's also go after the Reds and the commies and the actual people. Again, I don't blame China for doing this, but why are we allowing it? That's the problem. That's the problem.
It's very, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating because this is what needs to happen. You know, we've got an act, and I can't think of what is the Communist Act? I'm terrible. The Communist Control Act of 1954.
Oh, you're going way back. Okay.
I'm going way back because it's still on the books.
Yes, it is.
Outlawed the Communist Party in the U.S. Congress declared that CPUSA, not a legitimate political party, but an instrumentality of a conspiracy to overthrow the government of the United States and an agency of hostile foreign power, the Soviet Union, posing a clear and present danger, stripped the party and its successors of all rights, privileges, and immunities of legal organizations, made knowing membership in the Communist Party or similar organizations those aiming to overthrow the government by force, violence, subject to penalties under the earlier Internal Security Act of 1950. Use it. If you're going to go there, use it.
Yeah. What's the point then? Why is it on the books if you're just gonna ignore it? If you're not going to use it to its full effect.
This is what they're saying. This is the DSA's co-chair.
Who live in this country.
So would you like to abolish the Senate?
So that's part of our platform, and we don't think that's extreme. We think it's a change that would help make this country more democratic.
That's the co-chair of the DSA, the Democrat Socialist Party. They want to get rid of the president. They want to get rid of the Senate. They want to expand Congress, and they also want to get rid of the Supreme Court. That is your Democrat Socialists of America.
We are far from done with this discussion, but we do have a Hefe sighting, and I want to be respectful of Hefe's time. Just to put a point on what you just said, they're saying it out loud, guys.
It's right
there. They are telling you who they are. Don't ignore it.
Look at Russia. Look at China. Oh, yeah, Cuba. Venezuela.
Yeah.
Hefe, save us.
No pressure. How's first of all, let's start with the important stuff. How's the floor tonight? How's it going out there?
It's really takes a lot out of me to deal and interact with people that are just dumb. I have $2 in my box right now, put it that way.
Oh god.
Oh wow.
So
Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm sorry, man. That's well, we are certainly not going to be your savior here tonight. McShane and I are both fired up, and we're talking about really depressing things, like our country being sold to communists. So, is there a burning question? Is there something that you'd like to talk about that would be fun? Or McShane, do you have something that you wanted to bring up while Hefe was here?
I do. If he's okay with it, yeah, absolutely. We've got some questions. So we've got a new app that we're testing out here. We're gonna see how it goes, and I kind of like it so far. We'll see how you guys like it and see if we get any traction with this over the next. We'll give it about a month or so and see how it goes. This is Tell Anonymous. So what it is it's an app you guys can download. It's free in the App Store. There's some paid part of it, but it doesn't seem like there's any reason to pay for it. Just the ads aren't too bad, and looks like you get most of the functionality except for some BS that comes with it. But it allows users to send questions, and I set this up so that it was going to be for the show rather than just be me or you or whoever, right? Or a personal thing. But it's kind of a chat app, kind of a tell me your story, tell me your deepest, darkest secrets, whatever. And some people can ask, and they don't have to say, we don't have to know where they are. So I don't know who's asking these questions. So I'll take our answers. I will go ahead and post them and let them know, hey, we answered this question on Razor Wire 267. It'll be out on Monday. You should go there and check it out, whatever, right? So one of the questions that, I'll just give you an example. One of the ones that I answered, I took it as for me because I'm the one who has the consistent beard, but it was something along the lines of, how often do you shave your beard? And I said 3 weeks. I get it after every 3 weeks. I get it trimmed, and I never shave it. So that was my answer. Real simple, right? So that's kind of how the questions can go. I don't know if it was from one of our listeners, or if it was something that's just somebody threw in there. And it just got to me just through the app, just like almost like a chat app. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some questions, and you guys can go ahead and answer as you like. So here's one. What do you always carry with you no matter where you are going?
Hefe, you go ahead. You answer first.
My phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Good one.
Yeah, I mean, I think my phone, I think something, we could all probably answer that. There was that comedian that was like, I challenge anybody to get 2 blocks from your house without your phone and your credit card and not have a panic attack. I mean, we're all don't kid yourself. We're all there, right? But one thing that I always carry 24/7, well, no, I don't sleep with it. But I always have my challenge coin with me. It was given to me as kind of a good luck, good faith kind of token, and with a lot of heart and feeling. And so it's always with me. I take it everywhere. And so that's something that I think is probably most people don't have, but I've always got my challenge coin with me. But that's about it. Honestly, outside of my phone and my challenge coin, I mean, I sometimes carry a knife, but where I work, you can't bring a knife into the building, so I don't have it at work. Depending on the day, I've got my cock ring with me. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Hefe, I learned that lesson from you. Yeah, my back left pocket, just in case you guys are looking for one.
Right.
It's in my back left. Or if my head gets blown off, you can identify my body. Check his back left pocket.
Well,
He's got
it's
the cock
monogram
ring
too, right? You've
He's got
Fitz
well
written on it.
It is. Yeah, it is. Anyway, that's an interesting question. There's not much that I have to leave the house with, really.
See, okay, so that's a good icebreaker, right? I think it's a good icebreaker. All right, so here's the next question, and now we're gonna go ramp it up a little bit. Think you'd go for a plus size chick? Question mark?
Yeah.
Hefe, zero pause. The only delay you heard there was the time it took the sound to get to his ear. That's a great point, Aaron. Great point in chat. Yeah, I mean, I'm with Hefe. I think there's a lot of nuance to that question, but the simple answer is absolutely yes, 100%. And I have been there and would go there again. It honestly, it really depends on the person, on the woman. Weight has never been I mean, it's in there, right? It's in there, but it's not a deal breaker for me. It's just never been a deal breaker for me. So yeah. How about you, McShane?
Dude, I'm a big guy. Why?
Yeah.
That'd be so hypocritical.
Right.
First off,
Right.
I'm thankfully I'm down at 267 from 318, my heaviest, but still no worries. And I have. We're looking for. You make me laugh. You're smart. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. Well,
I'm in.
And there's something to it. We've talked about it before, but we've all been there. You're in the bar, and I mean, all the 9s and 10s, they don't go home with anyone. Everyone's afraid to talk to them. They're too pretty. They're intimidating, whatever. Or even when you do talk to them, they often have a chip on their shoulder. I'll just say it that way. But the 5s, 6s, and 7s, which, if I'm being honest, I'm a 5.2. Those girls are fun. They just want to go home and have fun with you. They want to have fun. You're gonna feed them in the morning. I mean, what's the downside? I mean, what's the downside? Of course,
we're going to Denny's.
Yeah, exactly. Hell, I'll make you some fried eggs if you want.
Aaron, I've never had a problem talking to a 9, but a 5 tries harder. Wow.
100%. I'll talk to anybody. But when you give me the attitude back, or I'm sorry, I'm looking for someone who's over 6 foot and makes 6 figures, you can go lick your own, because I'm going to go talk to this girl over here who's happy that I'm showing her a good time, because I'm actually pretty funny if you get to know me. McShane is a great time. Hefe has a beautiful penis. We're winners. And if you just give us a chance, but if you're not going to give us a chance, fuck off.
Hefe's a solid 8. I'm a sophomore. So you said you're a 5?
5.2.
5.2. Solid, nice.
And that's only because I've been recently working out. That's what pushed me over the envelope.
Hey, is that a good pickup line in the bars? I'll make you eggs in the morning.
I'll scramble your eggs in the morning.
Hey. Yes.
I think we should test that out. I mean, what could go wrong?
All right, here's another question for you guys. Let's see here. Any advice for days I just feel like crap and unworthy? Dude, that's a solid question.
That is a solid question. Hefe, any advice?
Say it again, Steve.
Any advice for days I just feel like crap and unworthy?
That kind of hits close to home.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
It's a great question. I think we all.
It's a
feel
great
like
question.
that. Yeah, often.
I think that's days like that are going to make the good days seem that much better, and there are going to be good days, no doubt about it.
Wow. Well said. Well said. McShane?
Spite. I get on days like that. It's all
Pure
it's
hate.
spite. It's pure hate and caffeine at that point. And somebody's it's, and you know what? At that point, I'm starting from where I don't want to be, and I slowly progress into where I want to be because I know I can't get any worse than where I am. That's how I approach it, and it works for me. That's just for me, though.
I actually been doing something new, and I would say this is probably the last, I'm going to say 18 months, year and a half. I've been trying this because I used to subscribe to your theory, McShane, of just like, fuck it. You're gonna give me shit. I'm gonna give you even stinkier shit back, and you can go fuck yourself. I've actually been trying to find, when I feel like that, I try and find one person, random person. Maybe it's someone I know. Maybe it's someone I work with. Maybe it's my wife. Maybe it's one of you guys. I try and find one person and try and do something exceptional for them, or make them laugh, or even just make them smile. I try and make their day, because then instantly I'm validated that even though I feel like shit, I made someone else's day better. So that means that I should be here. Like, I'm supposed to be here.
You're rising above.
Yeah, I've been trying it. Have I been successful? No, I have not. But it's it's what I try to do. I really do try and change at least one person's day on the days when I feel the worst, because that's the only thing that makes me feel like I'm supposed to be here.
That's a great answer. That's
guys.
so much better than ours.
Say hi to the guys.
Hi, guys.
Hey, who we got there? Who is that?
And that's Two Drinks. Your name's Two Drinks, by the way.
Well, hello, Two Drinks. What's up?
That means
Bam.
No, you know what? You're not supposed to know, and that's okay.
No. See, okay. I'm gonna have to revisit this later. I gotta go.
Yeah, just tell her that your name is 3 Drinks and her name is 2 Drinks. Okay.
And together, that's 5 drinks.
Exactly.
All right. See you guys in an hour.
Later.
All right. Later, man. Woo.
All right.
Good
I
for
like how
Hefe.
that went. I like how that
Yeah.
went.
No,
I thought
that's
that
fun.
was good. We're going to do that more.
That's great. A little funny, a little deep, which is story of my sex life right there. That's good stuff. I really, because honestly, I think people are out there random, or maybe people that are listening to the show, but they're looking for some kind of connection.
Yep.
And what better way to connect than, like, I'm going to ask you the question that I've been asking myself today.
Yeah.
And that's a good one.
It's a neat little app. And shout out to Ebony. Thank you, Ebony. I know she does this online a lot. She's back listening to the show. Recently reconnected with
Awesome.
her. I don't know. Yeah, this Ebony for everybody out there. She's our Australian listener. Haven't gotten to talk to her in quite a while. So that was that's an app that she uses. I bounced the idea off of her, and she's like, you know what, that might work. Go for it. What the hell? What are you gonna do? And I think it's a little raw too, because we kind of dispense. I mean, we're still bullshitting. Don't get me wrong. We're still full of shit. But we actually are real dudes, and we actually have opinions on stuff, and we're not dicks all the time. So,
and we do care.
Yeah.
I mean, I genuinely do care about other people. Not everybody. In fact, not most people. But, those of you who actually get it and are trying and fighting the good fight like I am, I do give a shit.
Yeah.
And
if you're
that's
asking
fantastic.
And if you're asking that question anonymous, that kind of matters more, right? I mean, that's like, you don't want to. You're shy. I don't want to talk about this with anybody else. I want to go
100%
on X. Somebody's going to ridicule me on X. Somebody's going to. I can't go on Instagram and say something. I don't have a core like our group, like our Razor chat or our chat that we wake up every morning. Hey, how's it going? Go fuck yourself. How you Jeff and I are. Yeah, I like it. I think I like it. Fitz, how is that beer going?
Oh, dude, I killed it. killed it, and I killed it in a really kind of unique way. Because, usually when I get one of these like session summer beers that I really get into, it's hard for me not to drink it like a fucking Gatorade, just like open the gullet and let it go down. I wanted to get the full experience of this thing, so I was taking like healthy, I won't say sips, but not a full like gulp, right? Like somewhere in between there. But I couldn't put it down. I just kept, every time you were talking or you showed a clip, I was just down it went, down it went. And before I knew it, the thing was just gone. So I really enjoyed it. Very solid beer. Again, I need to look out for Vanguard more often. I do think they make some really solid stuff. And again, for the Pacific Northwest to have a raspberry wheat just floating around out there is pretty unique. So good on them for doing something different. Really great beer. How about yours? How did that finish?
Oh, it's one of the best sours I've had in a long time.
Nice.
Really
there we
impressive.
go.
Really impressive. Really like it. Really like it. All right. Beer 2 is coming up. We got a lot more to get into, so stay with us.
Yeah, we do. Yep.
So just coming out of break here, I forgot to mention that that DSA clip that I played, that was actually Western Lensman, at Western Lensman on Twitter. Fantastic follow. This guy goes through and just clips, it's like an encyclopedia of historic video clips that just always goes back to, you're so full of shit, all of you.
Yep. The hypocrisy is ridiculous.
The hypocrisy, he just calls out him, and at Ms. Moore also, that's another great one. I had another clip in there. Just fantastic. So I highly suggest those guys, follow them, check them out. I had a tough decision because I almost went with another goes. And I'm not going to do that. I went ahead and it's a hibiscus goes too. And I think I'm going to go ahead and hold that one for next week. But I'm going to give a Bottle Logic beer a run. It's been a while since I had a Bottle Logic, which they're a fantastic brewery out of California, out of Anaheim.
Anaheim. Yeah.
Super unique, a lot of balls, sometimes a little bit too much. They get a little bit too crazy. But their dark stuff is absolutely fantastic. I'm actually going to go with a beer that I'm super curious about. This one is, let me get my light on here because...
Get your light on.
Tabana Reserve. It's a hazy IPA. It's a 7%er. Built on a soft base of Pilsner malt, unmalted white wheat, oat, malt, rolled oats, a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not going to go in all of it. Strata Luminosa are the hops. Mosaic Strata and Luminosa are the hops. It's loaded with juicy intensity, layering, lush tropical fruit, ripe citrus, and a touch of subtle dank characteristic for a rounded aromatic finish, low bitterness. It doesn't have the story behind it, which is unfortunate, but it's a Bottle Logic. It's a New England hazy. This is my jam if it's going to be an IPA. So that's what I'm going to give a run here.
Yeah.
Oh. Woo! Definitely dank. Mouthfeel is thick. It's... Wow, that's a lot.
Okay, but is it piney dank or is it like marijuana dank?
It's sweet and dank. It's
Okay.
like this is my hazy. There's a lot to it. It's complex. It's rich. It's a very rich, dank sweetness. It is bitter. You know it's an IPA, but it is sweet. It's got a nice finish to it. It's a nice nose to it. Wow. Really good IPA.
Nice. Yeah, because I don't mind dank, but I don't like the devil's lettuce dank.
No.
Yeah, that's not my jam. I know some people really get into that. But yeah, if you get into the real, citrusy floral, that's
it's
nice.
More of that. It's not. We're not talking pine tar. If
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean, right? It's not
Yep.
molasses. It's not. It's not. If you out and you're cutting down a pine tree or something and you get that pine sap on it, it's not like that. It's a rich, very full, it's a sweet, there's a sweetness on the back end of it. It's nice. Not super bitter, but it's enough that it's an IPA.
Yep.
What you got?
Well, I don't think I could have done more of a 180 between my first beer and my last beer than what I've done here. And it might be an absolute train wreck. So if it is, I'm going to apologize now. But I actually can't remember the last time that I had a wee heavy on the show. I think you've had a few, and every time you have one, I'm like, God damn it! I always kind of forget about wee heavies. I it's one of my favorite beer styles, but I don't gravitate towards them for whatever reason. But this one I saw, number one, it's a wee heavy. Number two, it's by AleSmith. So, and number three, it's barrel aged. So it is a 11.75% wee heavy from AleSmith. It's a bourbon and port barrel aged wee heavy. And that's about all Scotch style ale aged in bourbon and port barrels. That's all it fucking says on the can, which I love. I love AleSmith for that. They're not big into their design. They just say, look, we make kick-ass beer, drink it, and fuck off. So that's what I've got here. It smells real hot, but also it's got what you love about a wee heavy, which is the sweeter caramely flavors on the back end. That's what I'm smelling. So I'm gonna go ahead and taste it now. We'll see what we got here.
They're tough. They do so many great beers, but their website is so tight. Don't have a lot out there. So
yeah, they don't.
That's neat that you got that.
They do a lot of stuff, and I think they just don't want to hire somebody to keep up with it all. Okay, fantastic fucking beer. Yeah, that's it right there. Only mine's the 11.75%. So whatever's going on there. This one's a purple can. So it's not in the bottle. It's in a big tall can, and it's a 2025 vintage. Yeah, there you go. That one. Yep, that's it.
Cool.
Fantastic beer. Holy crap. It was not cheap. I'm going to tell you, it was not cheap. This was 3 or 4 gallons of gas worth of beer right here. Okay. And I just tasting it, it would run your car. Very hot, but not unpleasantly so. Like not where that's all you're getting, because you get all the complex flavors that you get. A little bit of licorice, a little bit of bark, a little bit of soil. You know what I mean? But then you get the caramel sweetness, you get the booze. Very well balanced beer. You said in your beer, there's a lot going on here. That's the same with this one. There's a lot going on.
So, Walker, what's the difference between a wee heavy and a Scotch ale? Or
wee heavy?
What do you consider a wee heavy? Why is it a wee heavy?
First of all, I'm pretty sure there's a and I'm looking at my beer chart here because I have the periodic table of beers over here, but it's a little far away. I can't quite see where the wee heavies are. I believe there's a threshold. I think a wee heavy has to be at least 9%. That's the bottom threshold. So Scotch ales can be over 9%, but that doesn't necessarily make them a wee heavy. But if a wee heavy is less than 9, it's just a Scotch. So like your Skull Splitters and stuff like that. I mean, they're definitely. I would say also a wee heavy, that malty sort of sweetness, the malt and caramel of a beer comes through a little bit more sweetly than it does in a Scotch. A Scotch is a little more abrupt. It's a little more in your face.
It's a little angry.
A little more angry, yeah. And which is weird because I feel that personality shift in me. Like wee heavies, I'm happy. If I get a couple of Scotch ales in me, like let's get in a mosh pit and let's fight somebody. But yeah, I think those are the big differences for me. I think wee heavies, they're smoother, they're higher in ABV generally, and there's just more of a richness to them. There's just more depth there. A Scotch ale is just kind of fuck you, drink me because I'm a beer and you're gonna like it. Wee heavies are like, hey, I'd like to seduce you for a while, and let's see where this goes. Yeah.
It's decadent. It has a dessert-like quality to it. It's almost I'm not going to call it a dessert beer because it's a little. The Scots don't do anything that's going to be a dessert beer. If they do, it's whiskey bread pudding, and that's still going to be like, hey, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you're still getting drunk.
Yeah, and you're going to like it. You're going to be sweet on me, and you're going to go fuck yourself in the end. But yeah, it's a little more decadent. The ABV is going to come through. It's not going to hit you across the head with a 2x4. But you're going to, at the end of the night, you're like, wow, how did I end up naked? And it's good fun. And the thing that I like about the wee heavies, you're not going to get a headache like a barley wine. It's
100%.
It's not super sweet to the point that there's a lot of, well, let me put it this way. It's sweet like a barley wine, but the sugar context is not there. It's like it's a little bit more finished. The sugar's out of it. Just it's a big beer, and it's a great end of the nighter. Great end of the nighter.
Yep.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. I would have a 6-pack of this in my fridge year round, because that's the other thing about wee heavies. It's not just a winter thing. It's not just a summer thing. They are multi-seasonal. You can enjoy a wee heavy whenever you like, next to a fire or next to a pool. It's going to be fantastic.
How's the barrel on that?
Kind of light. I'm getting a little bit of the bourbon barrel age coming through, but it's not, some beers you taste it and you're like, oh shit, that was oak. That was in an oak barrel, or fuck me, that was in a really just strong, overpronounced wood flavor coming through type of barrel. That's not this at all. I'm just getting the booziness from it. Everything else, and that's the other thing, you were kind of touching on that. Everything's kind of calmed down in a wee heavy. Nothing overwhelms you. Where you get in a barley wine, sometimes it's like, oh my God, that's too much of everything. This is like subtle and easy and chill. Everything's kind of calmed down on it. It's really good. Great beer. Again, AleSmith, fuck me. They're a gift. They're a gift.
Yep. Yeah, they're a fantastic, another California brewery. I'll give California that. I hope as they spiral into communism, I hope that their breweries move farther
their breweries
west.
Can make it.
And
yeah.
I would love to open our doors in Arizona, because that Bottle Logic, AleSmith, epic brewers.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Hey, I'm not going to give out a shout out or anything to Lindsey Graham dying, but that happened this week, and that was kind of odd timing.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, I know, let's get into it, because I think there are some very plausible theories out there. Again, we don't get into conspiracy theories here on the show. We get into theories because they're all conspiratorial, okay? And either it was a conspiracy or it's just a theory. It can't be both at this point, not at this point in history. So there's some interesting theories going on out there, and I think one of them is highly plausible. But let's get into it.
All right. So he went to, like, the weekend before, he was in Ukraine doing his little let's go talk to Zelensky thing, visiting drones.
Being the war hawk that he is.
Being the war hawk whore that he is. And I'm not trying to disparage. I'm calling a spade a spade. I'm not trying to, to disparage anybody who's dead. And I'm also not, and I don't feel bad about it either. I don't think particularly like the guy. But it's very, very strange timing, especially when you look at the fallout afterwards and how, we've got the FBI and we've got the NSA who's over at his house, and we've got this big thing. Hey, we need to get autopsies. His aorta blew. Now, we've heard all of these different conspiracies about, the Russian heart attack gun, and, you've got all of these. There could totally be something there. There's also something to him suddenly saying, we were going to go and get the SAVE Act. SAVE Act's next. Trump, we're going to go do that. Trump came out the very next day delivering basically a eulogy and talking about how, he's gone, and I'm very sorry he's gone. And he said, hey, the SAVE Act, which was very, very strange that's what he brought up on the day after the guy died, that we were about to get that done. And that's where his heart, he was a true patriot, and that's where he was going to. It was just very odd. It was a heart attack. If they can find something that Russia did it, or China did it, or somebody else did it, then you know what? I'm okay. I can buy that too, because there's a lot of strange shit that we can do now, and I'm sure the CIA's done it. But now we gotta look at this. Oh, shoot. So this is a Lego meme video that was sent out, and Iran is actually claiming that they did this, and this assassin is lurking. This Vader-looking individual walks into the room and kills Lindsey Graham. It's very sinister. And it breaks to this one scene where this Lego nurse or doctor is in a ambulance, and they're checking off Lindsey Graham's name, and right below it is Laura Loomer's name. I think they're just taking advantage of it. Yes, Aaron, like you're saying, he's 78. Or sorry,
they're opportunists.
America is 70. Yeah, the lifespan is in America is 78. He was 71. Shit happens. I'm not buying it. I do find it interesting that they chose this video, and there's a couple other videos after that have come out now too. That's what they're taking. That's how they're claiming responsibility for it. Which they're terrorists. Okay, they're terrorists. Let's call them what they are. And terrorists do come out and take responsibility for shit that they had absolutely nothing to do with, whether it's hacking, whether it's assassinations, or it's blowing something up. It happens on the reg. So it doesn't surprise me that was it. But it is very advantageous at a time that is where everything is incredibly volatile, especially since we're now bombing the shit out of Iran again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the theory that I heard that's out there, and again, there's no credible proof, and I'm with you. The burden of proof is on the theory to say, look, this is what happened. But there is a theory out there, a third, fourth, fifth, I don't know. But he did go and tour a drone factory when he was in Ukraine. Again, being the warmonger and the war hawk that he is, went and toured this drone factory that Ukraine had set up with our money. And, as a good caretaker of public monies, he was going there and inspecting it while he was there. And again, apparently he was miles away from the factory, but Russia bombed the shit out of this drone factory while he was in Ukraine. That's documented. The theory is that he was actually in the factory when it happened, that he was killed. That's when he was killed, was in the drone factory. And Putin had no idea. This wasn't an attack against Lindsey Graham. It was an attack on the drone factory. He had no idea that this fucking idiot was going to be there. Bombed it. He got blown up to bits. Called Trump, which is also documented. Putin and Trump had that conversation last week, and it was over a undisclosed subject matter, but they did talk about it, and that's the theory, is that Putin called Trump and was like, dude, I had no idea it was there. I'm fucking sorry. I killed your senator. My bad. And Trump was like, hey, happy accident. I didn't like the fucking guy anyway. Don't worry about it. We're good. And we're not going to war over this. So there's that theory out there floating too, because again, the actual official autopsy was that he had a aortic dissection, which is basically a bursting of the blood vessels around the heart. You could justify that if shrapnel caused that bursting of the aorta, right? So anyway, that's also out there.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, let's not split hairs. So that theory is also out there floating. And again, I think it's plausible. Do I think Iran had a? No, I don't think they had anything to do with it. I think you're right. I think they're opportunists. They're hyenas. They're gonna see a dead body and then they're gonna take advantage of that dead body. But I don't think they had anything to do with the kill. But it's plausible that he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it's war over there in Ukraine. You go to a war zone, people get killed. So that's plausible. Or maybe, like Aaron said, the guy was fucking old. And by the way, the point needs to be made. Half of Congress is on death's doorstep, right? I mean, Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi. I mean, all these people are in their 80s, in the late 70s to 80s. Give it the fuck up, boomers. Go away. You've done your damage. You've made your money. Go away. Let us fucking mop it up and move forward with life. Half of these people can't even use a cell phone. So anyway, that's interesting that he's gone. It's also surprising that Mitch McConnell allegedly outlasted Lindsey Graham. That's wild.
It is strange. It is strange. But you have to wonder about that timing too, because you'd still have, Mitch McConnell, Turtle Man, allegedly in the hospital. And last week we talked about how strange that whole narrative was, because he maybe he's alive. Who knows? But that died off too. It's like nobody's talking about that anymore. Yeah, whatever.
No,
we're gonna move on from it.
And real quick, Aaron's lighting up chat tonight. Real quick, to your point, Aaron, that he was a big supporter of the jab. I believe he was multiple jabbed. He had the boosters and stuff too. And of course, no one's going to talk about that maybe he died of a heart attack because of thicker platelets and blood clogging due to the vaccines. No one's going to talk about that. But that's also a possibility. I mean, let's not discount it.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. So we'll see. I don't know if anything's going to come of that. Maybe that's something you keep in your pocket. Maybe there'll be a declassified memo that's from a burn bag that we forgot we had.
Yeah,
maybe that'll
that
pop
we forgot
up.
to burn. Yeah.
How many times are we going to have that story that, we've got a burn bag that we found in a room that we thought was, it was covered over by drywall?
I don't know.
I mean, it's just, that's been the third or fourth time, and that was where
I know
the NSA stuff came from that we were talking about earlier.
I know. But also, I'm equal parts skeptical of, like, come on. What the fuck? If you have a burn bag, burn it. If this is state secret stuff, get it the fuck out of there. But also at the same time, half of me is like, well, it is the government and they are inept. They probably had 7 guys that had to carry each bag. And one of the guys was like, I'm going to go take a piss. And the other 6 were like, well, we'll go for a smoke break then. And then they forgot about it. I mean, that's plausible also, because the government's inept and we know it.
Yeah,
so I'm with you. I mean, it's a tired fucking narrative, but also I believe it that you fucking idiots forgot to burn the burn bag. Shit happens. I don't know.
All right, I want to go back to something that we talked about actually, let's go and just say it, 2 years ago. So Trump went in the office, and one of the first things he did was he went on a world tour where he was going around, I'm back, baby. I'm going, I want to talk to everybody. I love you all, and hey, let's go ahead and see what kind of deals we can do. One of the places that he went was to the Middle East, and he stopped by the UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia for sure. And he got a ton of money, Fitz. A ton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, we're still in war with Iran, which I do want to call attention to. Last month, the inflation register dropped significantly, which it's all due because we suddenly, for July 4th, the 250th birthday, we suddenly had like almost a reprieve in gas costs. So everybody go out and
that was a big part of it.
And everybody, the majority of it was, if not all of it. Gas dropped by almost $1 a gallon in places, and everybody was absolutely jacked about it. So when the inflation numbers come in this month, and suddenly they're like, oh my God, they're fantastic, they're amazing. June was amazing. This is great. We had a great deal. They've spiked again because we're kicking the shit out of Iran.
Yeah.
Fitz.
Yeah.
Something I've been thinking about, and I let my mind wander a little bit. I'm kind of just curious. What if this whole thing in Iran is all about just making sure that we blow the shit out of everything that's in Hormuz, and so that the UAE can go ahead and build the port that they actually are building, which is going to circumvent Hormuz? Iran is crazy. They're fucking nuts. You can't control them. They're warmongers, period. They're always going to be. They're not going to change. So would it not be smart for the UAE to go ahead and say, you know what? Hey, give us about a year. We're going to start building a port that's going to completely bypass the Strait of Hormuz, which they're doing. July 13th, guys can go out. There's a Reuters story. There's a ton of stories out of it. You don't have to even rely on Reuters. So the UAE is building this port. It's going to take about 2 years. I looked into it earlier today, and they're deep in it. They're going to have UAE, huge oil-rich nation, So basically what they're going to be able to do is they're going to be able to go ahead and they're going to be able to come in, and Qatar and other nations are going to be able to go ahead and bring in oil and drop it off at terminals, and then go ahead and use pipelines and move it over to this new port that they're building, which is going to completely negate the need to go through the Strait of Hormuz. There's not going to be any reason for it. And this is Dubai. Incredibly rich nation. Okay? When you look at the map, I think this is all planned. Our whole point in being there, we're the heavy. We're the heavy. That's the only thing. We are the wrecking ball to make sure that there's not going to be any kind of issues. We're protecting them.
Which we've always been that. I mean, and that's so. I mean, yes, and I'm giving that a 85% plausibility. I don't see any flaws to that theory whatsoever. Again, if you have a problem nation or a problem community, if you can't eliminate it completely, then you just go around it. You eliminate it financially, right? It can't operate if it doesn't have the money coming in the way it has, because they had a real chokehold on the world's oil. You know, what was it? 40% of the world's oil came through there. So I think it's perfectly plausible. I also think it's a great strategy. I mean,
it's fantastic.
The UAE is basically, if you go back and look, it's basically a U.S. sanctioned and set up country. I mean, it wasn't a real country 500 years ago. It's not a real thing.
No.
Dubai is built on oil money that literally it's us driving our car to work every day. That's how they built Dubai, which is one of the most outstanding cities in this entire planet. So, yeah, I think it's plausible. It might even be probable that's what's happening. My problem is, and again, I'm not trying to do a gotcha moment here. My problem is, one of the reasons I was comfortable with Trump coming into office is he did run on a no new wars platform.
Correct.
Now, I get it. Somebody starts shit in the world. We are the big stick carriers. We are the biggest stick by far. And so we're going to come in and handle business. This feels a little bit like in Afghanistan or in Iraq. McShane, as well as I do, if we wanted to completely crush Iran in 3 days, it would be done. It'd be done. And we wouldn't even have to send everybody we got. You send a couple of carrier groups, you send a couple of fucking hard-nosed Marine Corps units, pump them full of tea, get them on testosterone shots, give them a bump of cocaine, and say, go take out what's left of the Iranian Guard, the IRGC. It'd be done in 3 days. Give them a few Rangers, give them a few SEALs to do some surgical stuff, send in the Warthogs, send in the fucking B-2s, just level the fucking country. And that's not even to say that we couldn't nuke them if we wanted to. But this prolonged, they're back to they want to talk now. We're back at the table. We've made a deal. Oh, the deal went south. They bombed somebody in Jordan, so now we have to retaliate. Or they're retaliating because we bombed them. This is a dumb fucking game. I'm telling you, this is a dumb game. And I don't want to play it. I think most Americans don't want to play it anymore.
I'm with you on it. But so if I'm thinking about this just from the diplomacy angle, okay, guys, we're going to do this, and you're going to get throttled. Just stand down. Just stand down, right? Just let this happen. We're building these ports. We're going the Strait of Hormuz. You can play ball or not. It's going to happen anyway. You don't have a choice. It's going to happen. They cannot stop this unless they actually start wreaking havoc in Dubai and get and risk total war with every nation around there. So I get it. I think you have to give them a chance to stand down, but I think what's actually going to end up happening, Kishim Island is going to be taken, That's going to be your wall. That's going to make sure that we're going to take it. We're going to slap Patriots on there. We're going to put Golden Dome over that so that Iran can't do anything. We're going to end up bombing the absolute shit out of all of their oil fields. We're going to take it completely down to the ground. So China, one of their biggest allies, one of their biggest benefactors, one of their biggest trade partners, especially for oil, they will level it to the ground, and the rest of the Middle East is not going to have to worry about it because Iran is going to be irrelevant. As soon as they take out Qasem Island, which I think that's going to be next, it's done. They don't have to do anything else. I think that's the game plan. I'm all
okay.
in on
I
it.
hear you. I'm just saying. Then why wasn't that done back in fucking January?
Because it's bad press. It's bad press.
Okay.
You don't want to do it. You want to give them the chance. And you need them to be the bad guy. If they're going to... Now you've pushed my hand. Now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take out the big stick. I'm going to take this island. And then it's going to be over. It's going to be done.
And that game has been played for months. I'm just saying, you give someone a warning shot across the bow. You give them an ultimatum. Hey, if you fire one more fucking missile into Jordan, we're taking you out. Then they fire a bunch of missiles and you're like, okay, they want to come back to the... No. You said what you said. You got to follow through with it. Yeah, I'm with you. If you raise kids and you say, if you do this thing, if you're not home by 10, you get your game console taken away. And then they come home at 10:30 and you say, all right, it was a mistake. No big deal. You can play with your game console. They know they got you. You're nobody. You're weak to them. And I'm just saying, you got to follow through.
But in the meantime, you get to short the stock market. You get to ride the stock market.
Yeah,
back.
I know. That's the problem.
You're making billions off of all the arms that you're going to end up sailing. I'm not saying
of course.
It's good. Don't get me
of
wrong.
course.
I'm not saying this is
I know.
good. I'm not saying it's good. But I'm almost positive that's the play. We're not going to leave there. It's going to be a problem for midterms unless we go in and we take the island in we would take the island in like you were saying, 2-3 days and we're done. And that's a major island. I mean, it's not like we're not scoring major oil terminals here. Okay? I mean, you're taking their whole coast at that point, which is going to be hard to hold. But as long as you hold the island, they're done. You can just keep beating them down for the next 5, 10, 20 years, and then you're good. I think you just made a ton of friends in the Middle East, and Dubai is going to get they're going to get filthy. They were already filthy rich. It's going to be just uncontrollably rich at this point.
Yep.
I don't know. I was thinking about that this morning, and I started looking at the oil terminals that were being built. I'm like, that has to be the play. That has to be the play. Because it completely takes the Strait of Hormuz. And I don't know the mileage in between where Qasem is and where because I think the oil terminal it would go from Dubai to, I believe, Fujairah. I'm hacking the name. Don't get me wrong. I know that's where the terminal is, but I don't know what the mileage is there. So you're going to have Patriot systems, right?
You're going to have something there for sure. Yeah.
Can't. That's where I'm at right now. That's why I'll just call it right there. That's where I'm at right now.
And again, just throwing this out there too, because this could be a piece. Today, the Genius Act was signed into law, which is basically the crypto bill that's going to hopefully make all of us a lot of money because we own some XRP. But Genius Act was signed in today. They say there's a lot of steps that have to happen before it's going to fully go in. But if you're looking, the Genius Act is basically going to take us off the fiat dollar, right? It's going to take us off the petrodollar, and it's going to give us a new way to balance accounts, right? To do transactions across the globe, from neighbor to neighbor, all the way to China to the U.S. It's the new market for money. It's a new exchange. So you have that piece going in also. So oil, if this goes through, oil's about to lose a lot of its clout in the world. It's no longer the thing that we have to use as our push-pull lever. Now we have CBDCs and the whole crypto market. And so it's coming through. Yeah, I know it was signed into law in 2025.
But it went into effect today?
It went into effect today. It was given 1 year to all the committees have to vet it and go through. Yeah, so it's going into effect today, as of today. And so markets Monday, I don't know. Markets could be really weird on Monday. Because again, we're bombing the shit out of Iran again. And we are still, whether we like it or not, we are still tied to oil. And so the fact that we're bombing Iran, markets, it could be a bloodbath on Monday. But you also have this going on behind the scenes. The Clarity Act, the Genius Act, all of these things are very under the radar. Nobody's talking about this shit, which, again, we've talked about the propaganda. Of course, we're not going to talk about any successes that the Trump administration's having. So, I don't know what the play is here. I don't know how all this is going to play together, but I do know that the ultimate goal is to get us off of the petrodollar and onto a much more fair, secure system that allows for transactions in milliseconds, not there's a 2-day hold on your check till we check it out. No, everything's instant, always, forever. But also that we're no longer tied to oil and the Middle East anymore. And I want that. I think it would be a great thing for all of us. But again, it's caught up in committees and it's going to happen in stages. So that's where we're at.
The Clarity, you're right, though. I mean, the Clarity Act is a big one. And I really want to see what's going to happen with the Clarity Act. And selfishly, I want to see what's going to happen to XRP. But I think there's something to what you're saying, because we're also sacrificing what we're making off of Venezuela. We're also sacrificing what we're making out of the Gulf of Mexico. You know, right? Because we're drill baby drill everywhere. Right?
Yeah, we got oil rigs out there.
So it's not, everybody comes off of it, including us. So your oil goes down to $50 a barrel. But there isn't anything that's significant enough to really replace oil. There isn't. So it's just replacing that being the petrodollar. So I think you're on to something with that. I really, really do. It's just because we've got as much skin in the game as anybody. Russia.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Iran, the whole Middle East. It's almost like everybody said, okay, you know what? Yeah, this has to happen. Let's just go ahead and fucking do it. It's time to change.
Yeah.
But
get it over with.
Yep. With the crypto, and then we'll own everything on that end, because that's what's going to end up happening, right? I mean, that's what it's going to be.
Yep.
What a time to be alive! I know we
good shit. Yes.
Often, but geez.
Oh God, but it's true.
It is.
I mean, the fact that we can't even keep up with it all tells you a lot. I mean, it's a hell of a time to be alive. You have to super specialize in any one of these areas to know everything that's going on, and still you don't know. It's crazy.
Can I take a swing at the BBC?
Oh, please.
More people around the world now favor China over the U.S., Pew study suggests.
Oh, okay.
So I did the deep dive on this, and Tessa Wong, Asia digital reporter at BBC, leaned into this one pretty hard. China is now viewed more positively than the U.S. in many countries around the world, according to a new study by the Pew Research Center, which Pew, is actually a very based polling service. They're pretty down the middle, so you can trust their data. But what's left out of this, well, let me finish. The findings from the nonpartisan U.S.-based think tank indicate that favorable views of China have reached record highs in many countries, while perceptions of the United States have worsened. In general, respondents expressed low confidence in both U.S. Presidents Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping, though Xi scored higher than Trump. While the U.S. was still seen to respect personal freedoms more than China, China was seen to interfere in other countries' affairs less than the U.S., which is ironic because of what we started off the show with, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
42,000 people in 36 countries between February and May were polled. All right, Fitz. We remember that USAID was done away with.
Yes.
All right.
I'm glad you went there, because that's where I was going to. Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Well, I checked it this week, and god damn it, I was right. Pakistan, Malaysia, West Bank, Indonesia, Singapore, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Turkey, Spain, Italy, Mexico, Greece, South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, Chile, Canada, Peru, France, Netherlands, Sweden, Australia, Argentina, Germany all love China more than the U.S. It just so happens that they were all cut off funding.
All of them.
No fucking shit they like China, because China turned around and they filled the void.
Yes,
Now,
they did.
Who's manipulating elections again?
Yeah.
Who's undermining everywhere with Antifa, with socialism, with... It's fucking China. No shit. How tainted is the BBC? There's your story.
Yep. There it is. And I agree. I think we probably have our hands, and I'm talking historical. Let's go back to post World War II, okay?
Yep.
CIA, and have we had our hands in way too much of the world's affairs? Absolutely. We shouldn't have been in most of the places we were in. But on the flip side of that, and this is maybe the most based thing I'm going to say tonight, I'm also happy that we did have our hands in those things, because if we would like to be the winners, then we need our best player on the field. And right now, and I believe this because I'm an American, I'm fully admitting my bias, but I think we're the best player on the field or on the court or whatever. So we should be involved in the affairs of other nations when they're doing atrocious shit, when they're oppressing their people, when they don't have free elections, when the king is, or the leader is living in a palace and everyone else is struggling to find food. Absolutely, we should be in there messing up shit.
Spreading
what you're doing is
democracy. Bad. Yes.
Yeah. So do I think we did it in the most ethical way? Probably not. My scruples would not match what we've done. But am I happy that we were there? Am I in support of the fact we were there? Yeah, probably. Because imagine where the world would be if we just became a completely isolationist. Wow, that was tough. Thank you, We Heavy. And we were just cut off all borders, make a 40-foot wall around Canada and Mexico, and only open our ports to those people that are going to give us nice things. We would not be, A, we would not be happy. B, the world would be in absolute chaos, and it wouldn't hold. We would not be more secure. We'd be less secure. So
correct.
There is a balance there, and that's where we're at in history right now, is that all of those things we've done for the past 70 years, 80 years, are coming to a head. And we now have to put a cap on those things. We can't let them continue to fester. And going back to what you said about Iran, taking the island, all of those things, the banking cartel that has gone on, which is well documented. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is an actual fact. The banking cartel around the world, the Rothschilds and all of that, Bank of London, we all know, the Fed, our own Fed, keeping us all down with interest rates and all of that. All of that has to come to an end, or we're going to be in this loop forever. And so, again, Trump being a change agent, I'm in full support, because he is blowing every fucking establishment up, and he's leveling it. He's taking it down to its sticks and bones. And I'm in full support of that. But we need to act decisively. That's my only thing in Iran. We need to act decisively. Quit dragging this shit out.
Get it done and get it over with so we can move the fuck
Get
on,
it done.
Right?
Thank you. Yes.
What you said, you were going towards something. I just want to point that out, right? So we cut off USAID when we're listening to the Mike Benz and USAID being capped by Rubio and all that kind of stuff, and we're like, you know what, fucking that's exactly what we need to have happen.
Hell yeah.
Because of what it was driving, right? All the NGOs and all that bullshit that was actually being used against us. That's what I wanted ended. But then when you look at how we are impacting other nations and stuff, and if we were if we were meddling, which that's what it was, spreading actual democracy and actually making things better and unification and making other countries better and not destabilizing them, right? It's almost one of those Jessup moments where you want me on that wall, you need me on that wall.
That's right. Colonel Jessup. Yep.
But that's not what was happening. So now we've got to deal with the ramifications of pulling the rug out from under all of these fucks that where it's being used so incorrectly and where it was turning into socialism. And now it's actual communism in some parts of our own fucking country. Oh, where did it start?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much Obama.
Yeah.
Fucker.
I think it started in the McCarthy building, in CIA, and they were literally having money. They were having so much money thrown at them, they didn't even know what to do with it. They were doing seditious shit in countries all over the world. I mean, we have video games. We have Call of Duty games that are all about CIA operations in fucking Russia and in Cuba, Eastern Europe, Cuba. Yeah. So we were doing a lot of naughty shit all over the place all at once. And so that set it up. But the fact that Obama has opened up the gates for us to be propagandized and for literal lies to be told to the American public, and there's nothing to be done about it. It's okay. In fact, it's for the greater good, quote unquote. You're right. And again, knowing your history, we've always said this. Someone who doesn't know their history is destined to repeat it. We know our history. Most of us are awake. We don't want to repeat it. We don't want to go back there. We don't want to be stuck in this loop. We want to move forward. And there's parts of Trump where I'm like, God damn it, he's fucking nailing it. And other parts where I'm like, dude,
God damn it,
that's already been done. We've already done that. Why are you doing it again? Shut the fuck up and move on. And I am stuck there. I'm stuck.
All right, well, let's see where this falls as far as historic.
All right, Petey, what do you got?
Every single day, you are pushed to your absolute physical and mental limits to master the profession of arms. We demand your all, and you give it. But while we invest heavily in our weapon systems, platforms, and gear, our most decisive tactical advantage will always be the individual warfighter. We have a sacred duty to maintain that advantage, which is why we must constantly look for new ways to optimize your performance, your resilience, and your long-term health. And to meet that commitment today, I'm authorizing a new screening program for testosterone deficiency for our service members, ensuring you have the right testosterone levels to operate at your absolute best. Because it's well-established science that as we age, testosterone levels often naturally drop. Under the supervision of our world-class medical professionals, warfighters age 30 and older are going to be tested annually as part of their periodic health assessment. It's a health assessment that happens every year. We're just adding this test. Those under 30 can voluntarily choose to get the test as well. If treatment is recommended, it's entirely your choice to receive testosterone replacement therapy. This initiative, it's not about artificial enhancement. It's about restoring and optimizing your natural capabilities, protecting your longevity, and ensuring you have the biological foundation required to sustain the fight. We owe our warriors the absolute best medical care in the world, and this program delivers on that obligation. Taking care of your long-term health means ensuring you remain strong, resilient, and capable, not just for your next deployment, but for the rest of your life, so you can thrive long after you take off the uniform.
We're going for super soldiers, man. And we have to keep up with China, and this is how we're going to do it. We're starting with low T. We'll start adding stuff. And this is, guys out there, you guys, if you've been in the military, you've been popped. They hop them up on steroids. They're pumped full of all
saltpeter.
Stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah,
absolutely. Hey, so you in your military experience, you had a little time there. Did you feel like you were ever given that stuff?
Oh, I know for a fact I was. And this is how I know, because, when we went to basic training, that first night, the only thing that all of us had in common was, they shaved our heads. You had some really big, out-of-shape dudes. You had little guys like me that I think when I joined, I was like $140, soaking wet. There was nothing. I don't even think I was that heavy. I might have been 135. By the end of basic training, and again, you got some guys that didn't make it, so they dropped out. But by the end of basic training, all the big guys got skinny and jacked, and all the little guys got bigger and jacked. that doesn't happen without some. I mean, look, PT was every day, but we also had some help. I mean, that was the heaviest and most muscular I've ever been. Was right after basic training. I mean, even going to buds, I wasn't that heavy. I lost a lot of weight in buds actually, but in basic training, I was like 172, which for me is a lot. That's a lot on my frame. Right now, I'm like 161, and that's a perfect weight for me. Between 160 and 165 is perfect. And so I was 172 getting out of boot camp, and there were guys that lost a tremendous amount of weight, and we're talking in 9 weeks. So yeah, we had hormonal help. We had, it was called saltpeter or whatever. They gave whatever jacked up name or whatever, but I know it was in the food. We were eating 3 meals a day and big meals. I mean, we were well fed, and everybody was. So yes, I know for a fact that happened. Was it Captain America serum level stuff? Of course not. But and I do love this. I think the next step here is, I mean, why not offer this across the board for everybody? Because testosterone is not expensive to produce. It's just not. And there are natural ways to balance your T levels, but if you're going to offer it to the military, which I get and I applaud, I think it's a great first step. But what about me? What about my neighbor guy who, has just been beat down by life and he's 70 pounds overweight and he could use a little help? Let's make it available for everybody and not make it an illegal substance, because it's a totally natural hormone. And yes, it needs to be regulated. Yes, that we need to be careful. It can cause health effects. But okay, under the guideline of your doctor, let's do this and make it free. Let's do it.
How fast do you erase Democrats if that happens?
Be a lot fewer trans folks, I'll tell you that.
I'm just saying. Saying. People, they're not going to be stuck behind the computers. They're not going to be gooning on, Greta Thunberg's sister's pictures, which, wow, she's a fucking smoke show.
Dude, she is a smoke show. Holy crap.
I don't have any problem with this at all.
No,
I do think it's a gateway to the next step, which I do think we are going to start seeing super soldiers. We're going to see robotics. We've already talked, but we're going to see cybernetics. We're going to see all of that kind of stuff. That's going to come. You guys, sorry, it's going to happen. There's going to be Neuralinks. There's going to be all kinds of shit that's going to be used, and that's what's going to get people to the next level in tuning.
Yeah, and it'll be in the military first.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And that's where
as it should be,
where the money goes. It's like everything that we've done. Defense leads to breakthroughs in other areas. Sorry, it's a fact. So I did find this interesting right after that dropped. Here's the awful, what's her name? Pramila Jayapal. Just listen to this. This is fantastic.
Now, just an hour ago, the Secretary of Forever Wars, Pete Hegseth, said that they are going
So she comes out and insults him right off the bat.
Yep.
to provide hormone therapy for male service members who don't have enough testosterone. This, by the way, is gender-affirming care.
How is it gender-affirming care? How is it gender-affirming care?
It's not. Hefe,
oh my
would you like your gender affirmed?
Could you please? You got a minute?
I hereby certify as a non-medical clinician, I hereby certify Hefe is a heterosexual male. Do I have a second?
Must he?
Oh, absolutely, I'm in. Yeah,
yes.
Seconded.
Okay.
Started.
Oh God.
God damn it.
I was scared there for a second. What? Woo. Okay.
Sorry.
See?
I was
it's that
I was
easy.
Muted and laughing. Sorry. Go ahead.
Can I get that in writing, please, guys?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, I will stamp that shit.
You
Fuck
can
yeah,
get
with your cock.
Melted wax with my penis's relief on it.
Oh, dream come true.
God.
Oh, that's not gay at all.
So Two Drinks is excited to be on the show.
Oh, good.
Hey, all right. So is there anybody that you work with that doesn't know that you've got a show now?
there are several people, a lot of people that don't have a show, but nobody knows details. But I accidentally told her the name of the show.
Oh,
whoops!
And she went. Cause I've had a conversation with her about it, and I was like, I can't tell you because we talk about certain things and certain people, and then we were walking out to the pit, and she like casually was like, "What's the name of it?" And I told her, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And she goes, "Is it really, or is that a fake name?" And I was like, "That's a fake name." So,
oops.
So we'll see.
Wow.
Oh, Hefe. Well, you might have just let the cat out of the bag. Here's the thing, though. I mean, you're protected. You're protected. You can't. They can try, but you're not one of the hosts of the show, right?
Right.
I mean, it's different. If it's different for me and McShane, but you're good. You're protected.
Yeah. Next week, Jeff's job hunt begins. Thanks, Aaron.
Oh,
I don't think so. Two drinks. She seems very based. She seems very.
Yeah, she's grounded.
I think she's just fine. I think she's just fine. I think you're gonna be okay. So hats off.
Yeah. Well, you heard what she said, right?
I don't.
I heard her
remember.
say hi, which was adorable.
Said hi, and I screamed something, and I don't know.
And then she said, because I said that's 2 drinks, and she looked at me and was like, I think I know why that's my name, and I was like, no, because she was thinking it takes 2 drinks to make her look better or whatever. And I was like, no,
that's not it.
No.
I explained to her where the origin came from, and she's like, I owe you 2 drinks, and I said, yes, you do, from 2021.
Yeah. I mean, who's counting?
So it's like up to 10 drinks now with interest.
Yeah.
Speaking
Juice is running.
Yeah. Speaking of interest,
go ahead.
We got a farm report. Can we get it out of the way?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. I like it when he comes in hot and he's just happy. He's like Jack.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's fucking do this.
He's got high tea going.
This is a high tea farm report right here.
Light it up, Daddy. What do you got?
Thanks, Seth.
Light it up.
So you remember last week when you guys tested me on what I should say in certain situations and stuff like that? Was that last week or whenever that was?
Yeah, it was last week.
That was last week. Yep. Was.
I've got a foolproof panty dropper, and it's the opening line for tonight's farm report.
Okay.
Let's get botanical. How's that grab you?
I'll tell you what. I'm naked.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know what just happened. I'm just nude here.
Get botanical. I want to get botanical.
All right. See, you've made McShane sing, so now we know this show is completely off the rails.
Yeah.
It's official.
Sorry, 2 drinks. Go ahead. Light it up.
Have you guys heard of the sandbox tree?
No.
Well, no.
Okay. It's got its good points. Its dried fruit shells were used as sandboxes for blotting ink. That's where it gets its nickname from. And I don't think I wrote down the actual name of the tree, but we'll just call it let's go with the sandbox tree because it's known for that.
Efforting.
Okay. And also its leaves can be used to create or to treat eczema and extracts for treating rheumatism and worms. So it has good points. Now the bad. You remember those fruit shells I told you about? The shells from the fruit? They're about the size of a pumpkin, by the way, a small pumpkin.
Are you going to tell me they've got rice in them or something or cyanide?
Well, they have been known to explode with a loud bang, shooting seeds in all directions as far as 150 feet.
Jesus.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, look. Hey, Hefe, we're looking at the website here, and the other names for this tree it's also known as the dynamite tree, the monkey no climb.
Yes. Oh, you ruined my punchline.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just.
We'll edit it.
I'm just reading this, going, holy shit.
That was my favorite thing. Is it's known as the monkey no climb.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the branches are covered in spikes, and the whole entire thing is covered in spikes. And it has a milky sap that oozes from it, and it can cause severe rashes and blindness, which the indigenous people used for poison darts. And
whoa,
And yeah, dynamite tree and the monkey no climb is this little nicknames. So
Hefe, I have a question for you. You remember the movie Gods Must Be Crazy, right?
Oh yeah.
Remember when the little bushman shot that tree and it dripped that white sap on the guys and they started itching?
Yeah.
And they dropped their guns. Yeah, was it that tree?
I might have been.
Holy
wow!
Shit.
Might have an update next week's farm report.
Everything just came full
This is
circle
one of the
for
most
me. This
dangerous
is
trees
Oh, here we go.
in the world.
Okay.
The sandbox tree grows in almost all tropical areas of the Americas, especially in the Amazon. First, we have
I guess not.
grenades in the form of exploding seed capsules. The fruit is made up of 15 or 16 sections arranged around a center axis. The fruit will lose up to 64% of its moisture to reach a point when it becomes so dry that the sections violently split open and separate from the axis, throwing out the seeds. They explode with a bang that has been compared to the blast of a pistol. The force of the explosion flings the seeds at upwards of 240 kilometers an hour and can send them shooting up to 45 meters. These projectiles can very easily hurt any humans or livestock standing nearby. Nothing says "don't climb me" like an entire trunk covered in powerful 1-inch spikes. These conical bark knives are half an inch wide at the base and taper to a needle-like point. The spikes cover the tree from top to bottom. They are so thick on some individuals that their bases touch, forming a suit of spiked, impenetrable armor. You know, just to make sure you really don't get any ideas about climbing it.
The sandbox tree's third weapon is poison. The fruit is so poisonous that one bite will have you questioning your life choices. Expect violent cramps, vomiting, and everyone's favorite, diarrhea.
The sap of the tree is also a poison that creates a nasty red skin rash on contact. If you get it in your eyes, it may even cause you to go temporarily blind. It's so toxic that its sap was used by some Carib indigenous peoples as the poison for their darts.
I need
Well,
this chick's
again,
resume.
Maybe she could be a team member because I'll just tell you, I appreciated your report on this tree way more than hers because she just repeated everything you said. And so,
Where did you find that?
Where did I find it?
Yeah, that's disturbing.
Yeah.
Again, I find myself saying that a lot with everything that you do bring up, farm report wise. But that I've never seen anything like that before.
It's scary.
That's out of Dungeons and Dragons kind of shit.
yeah, that nature, I mean, nature's fucking terrifying on so many levels. Yeah.
You scary, nature.
Damn, nature, you scary.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna play that. I'm gonna play that out. Hey, F.A., how much time do you have?
Couple minutes.
All right, well, let's talk about Russian spies.
The
The hot ones?
spy blowjob. That's one of the most. The perfect spy blowjob. That's one of the most important skill any woman can have. There are like many techniques, but one of the most important is deep throat technique. Is one of the most desirable thing any man want to have. There's certain things you have to know before actually doing it. Otherwise, it will be painful for man. Also, it can be painful for your throat. There are techniques to learn before doing that because otherwise your husband would hate it. So when you do it, try it maybe at least on a banana or even like plastic dildo because like before performing on human body. Right. Because it can be really painful. So it has to go on top of your mouth. And at the same time, you do like breathe in and then you swallow it. And also your head has to be like 90 degrees angle. Otherwise, if you do like any other angle, it will be painful for you. Then in porn, like women are laying on the bed and then the man on top of her, like, you know, basically doing this kind of oral sex.
But
No,
that's not
no,
good.
and no. You say it and he stands. For example, this is like 90 degrees.
Wow.
So what she is describing is what
It's
Russians
science!
do. What Russians do in order to be able, it's basically setting up a honeypot. They teach them how to give head.
Which can I just say I'm a fan of that entire clip.
Oh,
First of all, it's a little disconcerting because she's clearly Asian. I'm gonna say she looks almost Mongolian, like northern
Yes.
China.
Yes.
But she has a Russian accent. and then she's talking about deep throating. And the whole thing just gives me such a beautiful electric sexual charge. It's a great package. That whole clip, I played it.
Please spy on.
I'm not. Yeah, please. Can I do something important enough that they need to spy on me? I need a honeypot in my life.
Well, I can tell you she's not Filipina.
No, she's not.
I mean,
there's like
just culturally.
Yeah.
There's
like I didn't look at the rest of this. There's like 4 or 5 other. Do we want to listen to?
Oh, I did. They're all good. No, they're all good. Oh yeah.
All right. Let's go and listen to one more. Here's another.
The first mission where I had sex, it was that guy from the Russian bonnet. But he was kind of cool. He was young, very sexy criminal. Unfortunately, he died. So the mission was for me to actually get to his body because he always had security and a lot of people around him. And basically my team would finish him and I just had to get closer to him as much as I could.
And then you would communicate with your team to come in?
Yeah, they were following us and waiting for us. So basically, I was in the club pretending that I'm like, not like particular prostitute, but one of the like go girls, easy, like, oh, let's have fun, let's have drugs, blah, 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 and let's have sex. This sort of women. And I picked him up from the club, yet he was with enormous amount of beautiful girls and all that, and I had to do it. So I picked him up, we went to the sauna, which is like Russian saunas. Right. They have rooms and they have saunas and they have massage. And when he was like in his very least moment or whatever, I let my team in and they basically finished the whole operation.
What a way to go.
It's straight out of John Wick.
Now she's badass. She's legit. And she tells all of those stories with a smile on her fucking face. She's a legit psychopath. We lost Hefe. Hefe, sorry, man. I hope the rest of the night goes great for you. But she's well trained. She knows what she's doing. And she's like, I just let my team in and they finished him off.
They finished him.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus. I didn't look at the rest of this thread. I'll post the thread to Razorwire chat. You guys can go to razorwirenews.com. You guys can join the show. You're there. I'll post it in the chat so you guys can have it. That's amazing. That's just amazing. Spies are fucking sexy. That's just the whole
world
match is just that's fucking hot. Somebody's gonna die. I totally get it. And just remember how vulnerable all of these targets are. At the end of the day, it's carnal knowledge. It's you're getting sucked in or sucked off. What you're being taken advantage of, your natural instincts, and then I let my guard down, and my team came in. The wet work team came in and took care of business. That's just wild.
Yeah. I those are my favorite movies. They always have been. Real quick, I think we should probably end with the Tony Robbins story because that's wild, and I definitely want to get to that. Yeah. Real quick before we get there, two things. I meant to mention it last week. I'm going to mention it now. First thing is we are heading into grand solar minimum, meaning sunspots on the sun are slowly diminishing, and we're definitely seeing fewer and fewer sunspots week after week, which on the one hand is great because they're the big factor of sending out CMEs our way, and CMEs can be like just completely population enders, right? I mean, technology enders. And so that's great that there's fewer sunspots, not zero. There's still some coming in next week that'll be coming around the bend. But what that means is when the sun is less flary, less energetic, that means we're letting in more of that galactic universal energy coming into our atmosphere. And with a weakened magnetosphere, we don't really know what that means. Again, I talked earlier in the show about it was changing voting machines. There's been reports of self-driving programs that immediately push the gas and you can't push the brake at all. You can't stop the car. And then they go back and they look at the code in the computer and it's like, well, it got changed by a proton coming from somewhere in the universe. So things like weird shit could be happening like that, but just know that we are heading into grand solar minimum. It's a natural effect. It is going to throw our weather into chaos. We're going to see some really weird lightning. So start looking for clips of people videoing weird lightning in their area. And they're going to say it's because of global warming. It's not. it has everything to do with the sun and nothing to do with your SUV or coal. The other thing I want to get to is, and I need to start posting this to the Razor Wire chat, the group chat. Because I post it to you guys, and then but everyone else deserves to know too. There was midweek, I think it was Tuesday, there was a 5.4, I think, on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. 5.4 earthquake, sorry. And I threw out a text. I was like, hey, these are usually precursors to something bigger somewhere on the Ring of Fire, somewhere on the Pacific Rim. A day later, literally a day later, a 7.4 hit just south of Baja, California in Mexico. And tsunami warnings went out and everything else. The thing that was significant, there's not a lot of people down there. There's not a lot of big buildings to collapse. So it kind of went off without a lot of fanfare. The big thing to understand, though, is this was a vertical slippage, not a horizontal slippage. And when you have vertical slippage, that means one plate is going underneath another and or the other one's going on top. That tends to build pressure other places. So again, earthquakes are completely predictable. Some dumb shit in Eugene, Oregon predicted that one. Because I said that Mid-Atlantic Ridge means something bigger is coming, and it did.
You're accurate though. You've called us too many times.
Crazy. Okay, so why are we not putting out these warnings for people? Why are we not? Okay, either way, I'll get off my soapbox on that. But something to look forward to or to look for in the next 2 to 3 weeks, that slippage, that vertical slippage probably means some pressure built up somewhere else. So look for another 7+. I'm going to call Japan or maybe Eastern Russia, somewhere in that region, maybe Alaska. I hope it's not here on the Pacific Northwest, but we're due also. But just look for that in the next couple of weeks. So I just wanted to throw that out there because it is predictable and we know what's coming and we have no warning system. And it just boggles my mind.
Yeah, like I said, you've called it. I'm not saying you need an app, but you're pretty fucking accurate.
That'd be awesome.
Saying.
The Fitz app, and it's just like earthquakes.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Which beer are you talking to bed, Fitz? Which beer are you?
I'm not going to talk.
God.
Okay.
That's a different subject.
Taking nothing away from the Vanguard. Fantastic beer. And on most other nights, that beer would have won hands down. Fantastic beer. Really, really refreshing, really bright and lovely. But this Wee Heavy from AleSmith is so well done, dude. I wish it not I wish. I am going to go out and try and find at least a couple more cans of this. I want it in my fridge, and I think it's time we start doing another beer exchange. We haven't sent each other beers in a while. This is one I need you to taste because, again, you like the Wee Heavies. I would love for you to sample this one and really just experience it because I am loving this beer. I'm only halfway done with it. I'm pacing myself because
wow,
yeah, that 11.75 or whatever it is. I just didn't want to get shitty by this time of the night, so I'm pacing myself. But it's great beer, really well done. So how about you? Which one's going to bed with you?
I like both beers, but that Helva Peachlicious was a fantastic sour. Not overly done in the sour department. The fruit was fantastic. There was a lot of peach there. I would get that and I would put it in the back of my fridge. Not a sex beer. That's not the point for it. That was enjoyable. I just want that all the time during the summer.
Yeah.
I would buy 6 packs of that. Again, Helva Brewing, Peachlicious Sour. Just great stuff. Great stuff. I have an announcement real quick before we leave.
Okay.
Hot off the presses, Moxie has released her book, Fitz.
Oh, shit. She got it done.
She got it done. The story has arrived. Secrets, desire, and a journey that will leave you wanting more. Discover Gatsby, a naughty noveletta by Blythe Blackburn. Available now on Amazon. Your next unforgettable escape begins here. Click the link. I will go ahead and I'll post it. I'll go find it. And I'll post it to Razor Wire Chat. I'll put it up on the site too. It's a gorgeous book. Fitz, this is like a Wealth of Nations looking leather back. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's a fantastic look.
Well, and if it's a Gatsby off spin, I mean, that's one of the greatest characters, in literary history, American literary history.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Gatsby, but it's Gatsby with a lot of porn or sex or naughtiness. Let's just say.
Oh, I fully expect it to be smutty. That's why I want to read it.
It's smutty. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm really curious. Let's see here. It's kind of hard to find. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, she's in Amazon's. Let's see here.
Maybe not.
Yeah. There's a hardcover. See, that's tough to get around because everything comes back to the F. Scott Fitzgerald. I'll find the link for it, and I'll post it to the chat. But that's exciting. We've got a listener who's putting out books.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've always fantasized about publishing my own book, and she got it done. Well, that's awesome.
Well, you're going to, though. You've been writing one for a long time now, so you're just gonna get it polished and then just let that bad boy go.
Yeah.
That's going to wind things up. I'm Steve McShane.
I'm Fitz.
Think critically.
Act accordingly.
Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.